Here is another suggestion, something you might be able to use if you're dealing with a concrete stairway that is severely deformed or even has riser variations. Something where you have a 7-inch riser here, a 6.5-inch riser here, 7-inch riser, maybe a 5-inch riser here, and you're not interested in replacing the stairway. Then maybe this will work for you. Simply cut a couple of stair stringers to the correct measurements and then attach them to each side of the stairway. Using wood stakes you can drive into the ground and then wood stakes to securely fasten it up against the concrete stairs. And then it wouldn't be a bad idea to use either screws or double-headed nails here so that it will be easier to remove the braces when that time comes, or even remove them before you finish the stairs. Sometimes it's easier to finish the side of the stairway or even the front of the stairway without the concrete forms on it. So here we have about a 1/2-inch area that needs to be filled to make each one of the risers the same height. And if you're going to go through all of this trouble, make sure that all of the treads are the correct sizes also. So for example, if you have a 10-inch wide step here and a 9.5-inch wide step here, then you could probably use this method also to fix that. And I say probably, but that's going to require a little more work. Next up, let's go ahead and add our front form boards. And these don't need to be this tall. Otherwise, you're going to have a difficult time finishing the back corner here. And don't forget, you could always do one step at a time. So for example, I don't need this form board here if I'm just going to be working on this step here. I can just simply attach this form board and then attach it to this brace here so that this doesn't move. This brace is going to prevent this form board from moving in this direction, moving outward as you add your concrete or whatever mixture you're going to be using. And if you need to add more than one of these, you can always add one here and one over here, depending upon the width of the stairway. And let's go ahead and zoom in on the brace here. We're going to drive this into the ground and then attach the riser form boards to this brace with double-headed nails or screws. And this is actually a common way to prevent these riser boards from moving when you're building brand new concrete stairs. So you can see here where we have to fill this area right here. So let's go ahead and do that. Now you're probably wondering what products you're going to be using for something like this. And I really don't have one product that I'm sold on. I have not found something that works under all weather conditions, for example, in the extreme heat or the extreme cold. So check with your local lumber yard or other concrete product manufacturers in your area. And again, it wouldn't be a bad idea to let each section set up to where it's firm and then remove the concrete form boards so that you can provide a better finish to the stairway. And if you're going to be using an epoxy-based system that goes over a concrete stairway, then you might not need to pay as much attention to detail when finishing the corners or the edges here. But if not, you're going to want to remove the form boards so that here is another problem that you might be having if you have a concrete stairway leading up to a porch and the last step is a little high. And before we get into that, let's go ahead and take a look at a stairway where all of the risers are the same height. And in our example, we're going to have 7-inch risers all the way through the stairway. And this is typically what we're going to be shooting for when we are building concrete stairs. However, if you have a stairway where the step is a little taller, and this could be for a variety of different reasons, number one being that the stairway wasn't built correctly, or the most common problem you're going to run into is that somebody added materials to the top of the floor. And if that's the case, you can simply remove those materials to make everything work out. Or you can add materials to each step to compensate and make the necessary adjustments to create risers that are all going to be the same height. And in our example, I raised the floor 7/8 of an inch because I have 7 risers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to make it easy on my math. However, you will need to figure out your own riser height, and I do have other videos on that at our website. So at the bottom, we are going to add 1/8 of an inch to that step, and then 1/4 of an inch to the next step. and then 3/8 of an inch, or 3 times 1/8 of an inch, whatever we're going to be adding, and then 1/2 of an inch to the 4th step, and then 5/8 of an inch, and then 3/4 of an inch. And that would look something like this after you're done. And I would imagine some of you are thinking that all you would need to do would be to add 1/8 of an inch to each step instead of progressively making it larger. And trust me, that is not going to work at all. So get rid of that idea. Try not to fixate on that one for too long. And if this makes sense, then I have done my job. Now, the next job that you're going to need to figure out is exactly what type of materials you might be able to use to solve this problem. And I think about the easiest way to fix this would be to add some type of non-slip tile or some type of a concrete that will bond to the old existing concrete. And here is another question from one of our viewers who wanted to know why some concrete stairs might have either a raised area at the back or a recessed area in the back here. And most of the time it's going to be because the form boards weren't removed before the concrete was finished. And if you have a raised section, you can see here we have the form, and they finish the concrete to the front edge of the form board here. And either the concrete in the step either lowered or would have been finished from the top edge of the form board and then angled back a little bit. And I'm not about to suggest that the forms couldn't be in the wrong spot either to create the raised section like we have here in our example. So again, this section would have either sank a little bit before the concrete dried or would have been angled a little bit with this, or you might have different riser heights throughout the stairway. And if you have a recessed spot, you can see here where the form board was not removed, and we just simply reverse the last few examples. So if you have a form board that was a little too low, or a section of the step that would not have been flush or even with the bottom of the form board, then you could end up with a recessed section shaped like the form board they used to build the concrete stairs.
When it comes to constructing concrete stairs, you have two primary options: pour them in multiple sections, or opt for a single, monolithic pour. While both methods result in functional stairs, a monolithic pour offers a range of advantages that make it the superior choice for many projects. Let's explore why. 1. Enhanced strength and durability. Seamless construction. A monolithic pour eliminates joints between steps, which are inherent weak points in multi-pour stairs. These joints are susceptible to cracking, chipping, and water damage over time. A single pour creates a continuous, unified structure, significantly enhancing overall strength and durability. Superior load distribution. With a monolithic pour, the load is distributed evenly across the entire structure. This is crucial for stairs, which experience concentrated stress at various points. A unified pour minimizes the risk of localized failures and ensures long-term stability. 2. Improved aesthetics. Clean and modern look. Monolithic stairs have a sleek, uninterrupted appearance. The absence of joints creates a smooth, continuous flow that complements modern architectural styles. Design flexibility. A single pour allows for greater design freedom. You can achieve complex shapes, curves, and cantilevered designs with more ease than with segmented construction. 3. Efficiency and cost-effectiveness. Reduced labor costs. While the initial formwork might be more complex, a monolithic pour ultimately reduces labor time. You eliminate the need for multiple setups, concrete deliveries, and finishing work associated with multiple pours. Faster construction. A single pour significantly speeds up the construction process. This minimizes project timelines and allows for quicker completion. 4. Minimized maintenance. Reduced cracking and damage. The absence of joints minimizes the risk of cracking and water damage, which are common maintenance issues in multi-pour stairs. The smooth, continuous surface of monolithic stairs is easier to clean and maintain than stairs with multiple joints and crevices. 5. Enhanced safety. A monolithic pour creates a uniform, level surface, reducing the risk of tripping hazards that can occur with uneven settlement in multi-pour stairs. The superior strength and stability of a monolithic pour enhance overall safety, providing a secure and reliable structure for years to come. While a monolithic pour might present some initial challenges in terms of formwork complexity, the long-term benefits outweigh the initial effort. By prioritizing strength, durability, aesthetics, and efficiency, a monolithic pour is undoubtedly the superior choice for constructing concrete stairs in most scenarios.
And thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, let us know by hitting the thumbs up button. or letting us know in the comment area.